All right, morning show with Anthony here on 92.9 and 96.9 EHM. Super excited for this. I've been a fan for many, many years. Very, very early days. Will is joining us from Collective Soul. Will, how's it going, man?
It's going great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Wednesday, October 17th, you guys are going to be at the theater at Westbury, which should be a great show. You guys just came off a big summer tour where you played the island, too. You were out at the amphitheater over here with Three Doors Down and Soul Asylum. How was that?
Yeah, it was a good show. I mean, we love the crowd there. This is the first time we played that amphitheater. And I'd heard they had just kind of started doing more shows there or whatever. We're used to playing Joe's Beach, but great crowd. I mean, you guys love your rock and roll there. What else? I mean, we can't go wrong, you know?
Yeah, we do. And that was a good bill. Three Doors Down and Soul Asylum. That's a damn good bill.
Yeah, we knew the guys in Three Doors, and they put on a good show. Soul Asylum was real surprising, and we had a great time with them.
Now, you guys have been doing, what is it, 25 years now? 26 years?
We're calling next year the 25-year anniversary. Because that would have been like February of '94 when we got signed to Atlantic Records right there in Manhattan. I remember flying up there. Me and Ed flew up there on a plane. That was my first plane as an adult to go sign an Atlantic record deal. That was February of '94. So we're calling next year the 25-year anniversary tour.
That was your first plane ride, was to go sign a record deal? That's awesome.
Other than being like a baby, when I was actually born in Alaska, and I did have to fly home. My father was on an army base in Alaska, so I did fly home as a baby. But yeah, I was 22 when we got signed, so I was a youngster, man.
That's awesome. All right, now tell me what that time period was like, because I feel like I know the history of the band. I know Ed was trying for years, and your dad had the whole thing, and then but it feels like, I know you guys worked at it for a while, but it feels like once you guys, that famed story of getting on the college radio station, once you guys got on, it feels like it shot out and went really fast.
It really did, man, because the college radio station in Atlanta would have added shine maybe October, November of '93, and then it wasn't much longer after that. The commercial station on an independent label added that song, and then, like I said, 5 months later, we were on a plane to Atlantic Records and signing the whole thing. Yeah, and Ed's 6 years my senior. He was working on his songwriting crafts, and me and my buddies basically were coming through high school, and the meeting spot was my father's studio. So it's a little town story, but when the call came for us to rock and roll, we felt like we were ready. We were young, but we felt like with the strength of Ed's songwriting and the chemistry of the band, we had all the confidence in the world. When I look back, I wonder why we had so much confidence, but I think it has something to do with just being young.
Well, what's it like for you now? Because I feel like I kind of went along with the age of the band. Like, I was young and excited when you guys were first coming out, and now I'm hitting my middle age. So how are you guys handling the band middle age?
I know it's that word middle age. It's like, whoa, dude. Yeah, I'm 47, and I've got three boys that are all teenagers, or my oldest just turned 20 years old. So I feel like middle age is like right here. I don't know. With rock and roll and music, though, it's like we're still mentally, we literally still do like almost all the same stuff we did when we were kids. And our peers in the decades before us have kind of set the roadmap. I mean, we were still playing shows with Sammy Hagar just last summer. He just turned 70. We played shows with ZZ Top this summer. We played, what's the saying about rock and roll keeps you young or whatever, So, I mean, we are still, and we're still full of, especially when we get on stage and play music, we're still full of that confidence and that same young thought process where we're going to go out there and show people something. We're going to show them how good we are. Yeah.
You guys still, by the way, the live album just came out. What was it, a year or two ago?
Right about this time last year.
That's right. Killer, man. You guys still sound friggin' amazing. Amazing. Thank you. I don't expect you to remember this, but I don't even know when it was. I think it was during the youth time. I was working for another radio station on the island, and you guys came around and did an acoustic set kind of thing, and the whole place was floored. Like, everybody was freaking out, and I was like, you got, I mean, because you have such a great polished sound on the records, you don't expect that really in a live setting, but you guys have it and you still have it, which is awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, we grew up in the studio. We constantly take pride and constantly talk about how to sharpen up our tools, you know?
Yeah. Still no advice on middle age, so how can I handle it? Because I feel like I'm screwing it up and you guys are sounding better than ever.
I'm sure I'm screwing it up too, man. Don't get advice from me, man.
But let me ask you this, because I always wondered this. I feel like it kind of happened really quickly because the grunge groundswell happened and artists and labels then started looking for that kind of sound. And you guys were just a rock band, but kind of from Georgia, like you didn't fit in with the whole Seattle thing, but you were big guitars and great sound. So did you get pigeonholed a lot into that in the early days of the band?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that was part of our success. Is really the fact is nobody sounded like us. Nobody sounds. You could put on Collective Soul, and if you're familiar with it, you knew it was Collective Soul. Nobody sounded like us. But because of the era, we would get lumped in with grunge. And I think everybody who was 22, 25, 26 years old in the 90s that wasn't wearing makeup still and using hairspray in their hair, I think everybody was into like plaid and dressing down and like wearing simple things. You know, it was opposite of glam. We didn't want to sing about drinking all night or partying or getting laid. We were singing about, you know, real things. And that the grunge movement was also singing about real things. So we kind of got lumped into it on some regards in a fair manner, and in some regards not really. You know, we were a Southern, straight up, really just a straight up rock band. If the Beatles are a rock band and Led Zeppelin's a rock band and Collective Soul is just a rock band, you know, we're not. I think grunge is definitely specifically geographically Northwest, and we really weren't that, but it didn't bug us. Labels don't bug us. Labels are what other people use to categorize and describe things. And we always knew we were a rock band, and we knew that through the test of time, people would understand that we're just a good rock band from the South. We don't even sound like a Southern rock band necessarily. We're just a good rock band from Georgia.
I know, that's the weird part. Like you said, people know. Like I recognize a Collective Soul tune. I don't know if it's the tone of the guitars or the drum sound or, you know, Ed's. I don't know what it is. Even before Ed starts singing,
combination of all those things. Man.
Yeah, it really is. It's just this distinct thing that you recognize right away, which is crazy. And you guys have been doing it for so long, and you've been, you know, I know you had some issues with the manager, and you've been on labels, and then you did your own distribution stuff, and then kind of maybe flirted back with labels a little bit. So we're in this era now, 2018, where there are literally no more rules. So I want to know how you guys feel about the whole journey and the label thing and where the music business is at, and you guys being a proud rock band today.
Yeah, I mean, we did see a wild evolution, right? I mean, when we got signed, Atlantic Records, you know, they had 3 or 4 floors there at the Time Warner building. I think they're down to 1 floor now. And, you know, they were still making cassettes of our first 3 records. I mean, people don't even know what a cassette is now, much less a CD. I mean, you know, we're about to be in an era where you don't even buy CDs anymore. But we feel secure. I mean, because we were able to create a strong fan base. We still go out and we have this live persona that people want to come hang out at the rock show and see Collective Soul. So we can be successful there. And then with the internet and stuff, once you have a loyal fan base, direct marketing to your fans is not that hard. So we feel like it's pretty easy to maintain and cultivate what we have. We still feel like on a live basis, we got more we want to prove. And also when we're creating, that's kind of still the juice that we thrive on, is creating new stuff. But other than like trying to take more steps forward as a live band and creating, we feel like we're on solid ground, even though the record industry did become the wild, wild west for a little bit. I think it's definitely settled, and people kind of understand where these streams of revenue are now and how to cultivate them. It's, you know, it took a while. It took about a 10-year period.
Yeah, it's weird though, but like your generation, your era of rock bands might be the last that radio will ever break. You know, I just don't know. Because, you know, when you guys were coming on, like you said, like it was a pride for a radio station to find a great band like Collective Soul and be the first
on front edge.
Yeah. And now most program directors go and check all their competition across the country to see what they're playing before they even add a song. They're so shy and timid to break bands. Right. I mean, that kind of sucks.
That attitude with radio was gone. You're right about that. That's gone. Yeah, I definitely feel like we were at the end of that certain little era. I don't know how that plays out for rock bands. And I know rock isn't necessarily the coolest thing that like it was in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but there's a bunch of good rock bands out there. There's some youngsters that know what rock and roll is, and they're coming to the shows, but they're also creating some stuff. And like I said, thank God my kids have good taste in music. They get to show me some good stuff, but it's not getting broke on radio, like you said. You know, they know where to find it, and there's some killer bands out there. But, you know, I feel like the second wave of rock and roll, kind of the 2000s, was like Cage the Elephant, Black Keys, Kings of Leon. I think some of those bands, will stick around. And then you got, in the last 5 years, you got some other rock bands that are coming out, but they're not quite rock. You know, they've got a little bit of electronica and maybe a little more pop to their elements. But then you got some kids like Greta Van Fleet that, you know, sound like a goddamn badass version of Led Zeppelin, you know, and these guys are 20 years old, you know.
Yeah. So, well, you're all over it. Well, you know what's going on right now. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the rock bands will still be there. It's just not front page news that it was 30 years ago, you know. Yeah. But rock and roll is still alive and kicking, man, especially while Collective Soul's still on this earth.
That's awesome. Are you guys, I feel like I've seen it in a couple of interviews already that you guys are working on some new material. How's that going?
Yeah, we wrapped up a lot of it. So next year to celebrate 25, we're gonna release. I think we're at 25 songs. I know we've got 22, 23, and it's not going to be that hard for Ed to come up with 2 more songs. So if we get 25 songs, we'll do some kind of release schedule throughout the year, and ultimately it's going to be a double album. It's not going to all come out at once. I'm not sure how we're going to release each song. I think we're going to try to market it in a way that we can kind of spread it out over an entire summer. A
double album in 2018. That doesn't get more rock and roll than that, my friend. That's killer.
Yeah. Trying to be rock and roll, man.
That's really awesome. What out of the songs is there one? You know, can you give me some song titles? Like, what are the couple of tunes that's really exciting you right now that you haven't released yet?
Well, we did do some free streaming just for some fans to let people hear some stuff. Like, I think it was July 4th. We streamed 4 tunes that we had already recorded. So you could just go check them out. You couldn't download them or anything. You just go stream them from the site. And we played those 2 of those tunes all summer. A song called "Now's the Time." It's obviously it's a reflection on the temperament of the world and the nation in the moment right now. It seems like things are at a high point. And then the other song, we started out with 2 new ones, and there's another song called "Over Me," and it's just a sick rock tune. I'm really proud of that one too. So we played them all summer, those 2. So I'm proud of those 2 for sure.
Yeah. How do you go about? I mean, do you guys even still pick a single? Because I was reading something where originally you guys didn't want to release December as a single, and that goes on to be like one of your biggest songs ever.
Yeah, that story is like Ed was sure that December was. Ed was sure on that one. I mean, and Ed hasn't been perfect on all his guesses, but Ed was sure about December. And the truth that story is basically I wasn't sure. I was like, man, come on, not December. I don't think so, man. And yeah. So anyway, yeah, that story gets to live on, I guess. So I was wrong.
So you were the one who was like, December. I heard it was bad. Like you were like, no, that song sucks.
I mean, that's a little extreme, but we're trying to pick the single, the one that was going to be big, you know. And Gel had been on the soundtrack, even though it was on the second record. It was on the Jerky Boys soundtrack, so it had already kind of been a rock hit. And then the first real single from the second record was December, and I just didn't think it should be December. So
yeah, wow.
Turned out December kicked ass, so I was wrong.
That was fun. I forgot that you guys were on the Jerky Boys sound. That was huge for you guys at the time, actually.
Yeah, that worked because it bridged the radio support right in between the first record and the second record.
Wow. Boy, a lot has changed in 25 years. Hey, 25 years, I think that's your first year of eligibility into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You guys think about that at all?
We get asked about it. We don't think about it a whole lot, but I mean, of course, it'd be an amazing honor. So I don't know. I hope there's a groundswell amongst fans and amongst industry, because I think there's definitely a case. I don't want to analyze it too much because it's me and my life, but I think there's a case there. So I'll let you and the fans spearhead that.
I'm going to start a campaign. # Collective Hall of Fame. That's going to be my hashtag. We're going to get it going.
Right, we'll follow you on that. We'll follow that.
Because you know what's crazy, though, Will? Like, I've been a fan for a year. Okay, I hopped on board for the self-titled. I think most people probably did. I don't know if a lot of people were in on hints, allegations, and things left unsaid. I don't know. What's your feeling on that?
Well, the second one did sell more, and it was definitely like, oh, okay, these guys are for real. You know?
Yeah. So Shine was out, but it was the self-titled that really hit for me. I've been, like I said, you guys did a radio thing with us, not this station, but another station I worked at for youth, you know, so I've been with you guys all the way through. But I like, you know, in the last couple of days, I'm like, cool, you know, we're going to get Will on. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to go back and, charge up my my iTunes collection and see where I'm at. Like, I didn't really realize how many mega hits that you guys have had over the year. Like, I knew, like, oh, that song and this song. And then I go back and I'm looking at some of your chart positions and sales and all this. And I'm like, oh, my God, you got, like, and as a fan, I didn't realize how big you guys were. Do you hear that at all or no?
Yeah, we hear that a lot. Like, even people that are fans are like, oh, I forgot y'all did that song. You know, oh, I forgot all about that song, you know, and there's another hit, another number one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear that.
Yeah, and it's also like, you know, the other thing, too, is a lot of bands, you know, trashing hotel rooms or members getting fired or this and that. The drama level in your band, from the outside at least, it's almost kind of non-existent. You guys don't really have, like, these crazy, you know, things that bring this lore to some other bands.
Yeah. Some of it wasn't. We were a little under the radar with the media, but the documentary will be out at the end of next year as well. So there's a lot of, you know, behind the music stuff that definitely happened. That some of it's not an original story when it comes to partying and drugs and stuff, but there's definitely going to be some. The documentary will be great for the fans. There's a lot of stuff that people will be interested to see and will find very interesting to find out what happened.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that you guys had a doc coming out. That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe the doc will be part of our # Collective Hall of Fame resume.
I'm proud of that hashtag. I came up with that in 3 seconds. I mean, yeah. All right, Will, documentary next year, double album. I love it. Wednesday, October 17th, theater at Westbury. You guys just killed it over here at the Brookhaven Amphitheater. Now you're coming back to Rock Long Island again. Phenomenal. I'm looking forward to the new record and everything else. I hope you'll come back when you guys put it out. Is that a deal?
Yeah, man. We will. We'll be around for sure. We're going to do over 100 shows next year. We're going to be all around.
Oh my God. What is that? I mean, I know you like to go out and have fun and all that, but what is that like? As a person committing to something 100 times for next year, the idea of that terrifies me.
Does that scare you?
Yeah, it scares the hell out of me. What is that like for you? Because you're planning out months and years in advance. That's not weird at all for you? You're used to it by now.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not planning 12 months, 15 months down the road, I'm getting like, hey, all right, guys, what's going on? Because you just have to in today's world. You got to plan way ahead of time. The promoters are ready to book it, and we're ready to go commit. So.
Yeah. See, the only thing I could commit to in that sort of, the only I like look forward to and commit to is meals, which is why I have a weight problem. So, but that's a whole other thing. We don't have time to get into that this morning. All right. Well, appreciate your time, man. Thank you for the music for overall than anything. And I look forward to chatting with you again.
Yeah. Cheers, man. Thanks for your time as well.